Hi, I'm Assaf. I'm from the photo department.
Hi, Assaf. So, what are you going to show in the MFA show?
Um, I'm going to show a grid of 4 images. This is one of them. It's actually an analog contact print of a digital matrix of a color space.
A color space?
Yeah.
What do you mean specifically? Or what does that mean?
A color space is a mathematical formula that translates color to computers, monitors, printers. But although it's a mathematical formula, in order for us to understand it, it's always articulated as an object, or represented as an object, so the human eye can understand it. So this is one phase of sRGB, which actually this is a sculpture of the same color space that is in the image. And if you would look back, you would see the whole 4 images, one in yellow, blue, red, and green.
Are they the same color space or different ones?
They are the same color space, and that's what's so fascinating, because each time you turn the object, it becomes almost a new thing. So somehow every face is a front.
So you're interested in like the translation of this space from 2D to 3D?
I don't know if it's translation, but it's more transformation. What kind of transformation a thing happens to a thing when it moves, and it's not even translating, because I think my work is mostly with kind of negating content. So when you negate content, it's kind of an abstraction that leaves you with the form or with the object.
So is it important that people know that it's a color space?
It is a title, but I think you know, the color space is a point of departure for that kind of work. For me, it has a lot to do with materiality, with the flatness of the image versus the rendering of an object, which are the basic faculties of photography.
Great. So what else are you showing?
So there was going to be a grid of those. There's going to be this floor piece, which is kind of a sculptural object, or sculpture of a surface, in a way.
What is the treatment that's on it?
It's a piece of MDF lying, like hovering over the floor. It's painted with floor paint, and on top of that I applied in like very large amounts decorative flakes.
What are those things?
This is actually a shelf product I got at Home Depot. I was fascinated by the fact it exists. It is meant for garage flooring or corporate flooring, industrial flooring. It's like a camouflage for debris.
Oh yeah.
So it has a lot to do with the eye, or with the optics of the thing. But its aesthetic is coming out of its function, and it is like kind of a byproduct of this generic floor. But once I applied it in big amounts, it became almost a trompe-l'oeil, and the surface starts to be more active. And on the surface I put these perpendicular mirrors, which kind of refer to Robert Smithson piece, that kind of multiplies it, but multiplies the fakeness of the decorative flakes, but also exposes the manipulation in its, I don't know, banality or simplicity.
And then you're showing another piece in the show?
And the last piece would be this sculptural object, which is kind of like pooled surfaces. It's based on Google SketchUp, And Google SketchUp, there is this these tools that you just like pull surfaces in order to create volumes and spaces. So it is a classic object generated by this system. But what I did, I also imitated the shading that Google SketchUp uses. So the top one is the darkest, although it looks as the brightest now because of the lighting. The side ones are medium gray, and the bottom and top are almost white. And when I use the rendering colors on a real object, it becomes counterintuitive or counter the available light, and it has this kind of awkwardness that I'm interested in.
So the colors will change in any space that it's in due to the lighting?
Yeah. It depends on the lighting. And also when it's on the wall, it operates in a very interesting way. When it was on the floor, it could be either a maquette, architectural model. It very much speaks the language of I don't know, early 20s and 30s Eastern European architecture, Malevich models. It's also very much influenced by or can refer to presentational device or pedestals. But when it's on the wall, it kind of avoids both, and I think it really avoids its function or functionality or possibility of legibility as a I don't know. As some kind of functional thing, and it just left with these surfaces in various distances.
Great. And I have one last question for you. What is that rainbow that's behind you?
That's actually a remake of an actual product that used to be sold for photographers, mostly landscape photographers, or magazine photographers that wanted, or travel magazines, they wanted to have rainbows in their photographs. So they had this kind of filter.
So they had a fake rainbow?
A fake rainbow. When you put it close to the lens, it fakes a rainbow in your image.
It doesn't look very realistic though.
It does not look when you look at it, but when it's close to your lens, it gets out of focus.
Oh yeah.
And then you can position it on top of things. So there was this store that was photography store that was closing down, and I bought so many filters, and then I started playing with them, and I got this rainbow, and I just like positioned it on so many things. It was very fun to play with. So I remade a larger one. And I suspended it on a C-stand, which is a classic grip for photography or for photography studio practice, and it just operates in space in relation to the viewer and what he looks at.
Great. So have you shown it before, like by a window or pointing toward nature?
It was actually shown at the Sullivan Galleries at the New York show, and it was in this intermediate space. Which is also, which on one hand is between exhibition spaces, and it was right where people pass through, and then it was also in front of the large windows, so you could also look out and position the rainbow wherever you look at.
Thanks, Assaf. I'm really looking forward to seeing your work.
Thank you, Aram.